Hi there, friends and adventurers. Heather here from Heather's Hikes and Adventures. If you are new here, welcome, and you picked a great time to join us because I am going to be sharing with you today basically what my plans are for the rest of this year when it comes to traveling and camping, car camping and van life content, and if I have any upgrades planned for my minivan camper, my channel, my life, etc. So hopefully you'll stick around. If you are not new here, welcome back. Shout out. Hi, good to see you again. And so basically what we're going to do today is, like I said, I'm going to talk about, first of all, kind of what my plans are. Generally speaking, I'm not going to give you a specific itinerary, of course, but kind of what I have planned for the rest of this year in terms of where I'm going to be going, what I'm going to be checking out, that kind of thing. Then I'm going to be discussing, like I said, what kind of content as far as tips, tricks, hacks, hauls, that kind of stuff you can expect from me, and as well as asking for your feedback. And then we're going to wrap it up with my channel plans. So whether I have any upgrades planned, whether I have any changes planned for the channel, things like that. I hope you will stick with me. I am going to shut up about talking and get into it now. If you are wondering why I am talking to you sitting in traffic, well, that's because there's a huge line to get into where I'm camping today. I called earlier to try and avoid this very thing, and they said there was no line left because they had reached capacity. Come on in, and then I got delayed, and I was just thinking about how hot it was, so I would wait a little bit longer and kind of show up a little bit later, and apparently they started letting people back in again to the general area because the line is back and I am stuck in it. So I figured now is as good a time as any to chat with you, wonderful people. I am on the way to one of my favorite state parks. I have camped here before, not in the summer, and I try to generally avoid this place when it is crowded like this. But again, I thought that we were past that for the day. So anywho, aside from that, I do have a couple more state parks on the agenda this year. And for this summer and fall, I have a couple more free spots that I'm going to be checking out. I am going to be showing you guys something other than just my normal minivan camping at a couple of places. I have a couple of kind of unique lodging / camping / glamping options lined up this summer while we're still in the most brutal part, because I decided for my next couple of trips I am going to stick with air conditioning and show you kind of some alternate options that are available. So I am super excited about those because they are both options that I have really been wanting to explore and show you guys for a long time. So definitely stick around for that. Once the temps cool back off again, I do plan to get back into some more stealth camping options, as well as, like I said, a couple of those free camping and boondocking spots here in the state of Florida. So I'm definitely going to be doing that again very soon. And speaking of fall, I am going to be chasing fall color again this year. I don't know if any of you guys have been with me long enough to remember, but I was so bummed out that I had to cancel my fall color trip last year to chase waterfalls, fall leaves, bears, elk, all the things. So I have that trip all booked and planned out. My itinerary is set, and I could not be more excited about that. I have so many plans, both for the channel to share with you guys and just in general, that I am so excited for. Just to be in the mountains again, to get out of Florida for a little while and explore some of the other states. I am going to be going to multiple states, and it is going to be one of my longer, more extended trips that I've taken so far. So super excited about all of that coming up. I do plan to return back to the Everglades on my quest to find a Florida panther, and whatever else wants to make itself seen for me. So that is kind of all what I've got going on coming up. But definitely make sure you're subscribed, because some of the places that I have booked are, oh my gosh, have I mentioned I'm excited? I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited to see where we're going. Did want to talk about kind of what you can expect in terms of like car camping content, van life content. And I also wanted to take this opportunity to ask you to let me know in the comment section below if there's anything specific that you're wanting me to address or to cover in a video. I do plan to go into a little more detail about the Illuminate shade cloth and kind of how that works, because I know a lot of people were interested in that, and I know I'm super impressed with it. I also am going to go into some more kind of like life at camp type things, like how I do dishes, kind of my cooking and kitchen setup, how I stay organized, what kind of no refrigeration foods I keep on hand, just those kind of practical things that would help, whether part-time, full-time, camping, traveling, or living in your vehicle. So I definitely plan to do more of those topics coming up. But again, if there's anything at all that you would like to see me address or that you're curious about and I haven't covered yet, please don't hesitate to let me know, because I would love to add it to the list if it's something that I can address, and it may already be something I'm planning on. So, anywho, let's move on. I forgot that since I was wearing my contacts, I could actually use my sunglasses. I can see again. But back to discussing car camping content. In addition to the types of things that I just mentioned, I also plan on doing like my very first campfire cooking, using my hammock for the very first time, finally using my tailgate tent for the very first time, those types of things as well. I want to get a pie iron, and I already have some really good campfire recipes, like some of those foil packet meals and things like that planned. So I'm definitely excited to do more cooking once it cools off too, because like I said in one of my previous videos recently, it has been so miserably hot with heat index in the triple digits every day for the last few weeks. No break with afternoon showers like normal. It's just been, oh my gosh. So yeah, anyways, that's the plan there. So let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so as you can see by the change of scenery, we are at camp, we are settled in, and we are all set up. Speaking of setup, you like how I went into that segue there, huh? I wanted to talk about my setup and whether I have any kind of upgrades planned or, anything I want to change about my current setup. I do plan to keep going back and forth between this layout and my other layout. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link a video below showing my other setup. I have a cot that I use lengthwise, and I do plan on using that like when I go into the mountains for that trip this fall, because I plan on it being quite chilly then, so I'll probably want to use my sleeping bag, and I like that I have additional storage underneath the bed for longer trips with that setup. So I do plan on going back and forth with that still. I still love both. They both have quite a few pros. They both have things that maybe a con here and there, which I also did a video on comparing them. But enough about that. Basically, I'm really happy with both of my setups. There's not a whole lot that I want to change or do differently at the moment. There are two major things that I am currently saving up for, I think. Well, one for sure. The other one I think I finally decided on. I'll stop being cryptic. I really want solar. I currently do not have any solar for any of my power. And as you guys know, I use quite a bit of electric. I do have 3 power stations. I have my Bluetti. That's a 716 watt hour with an 800 watt inverter. I have my Jackery 1000 with a 1000 watt inverter. And I have my little Jackery that I first started out with, that's around 250 watt hours, with around the same for the inverter. So I do have quite a bit of power, and when the weather is decent, it's been serving me very well. However, with these triple-digit temperatures, my fridge has been working overtime. Let me tell you, that poor baby is going. She is going 24/7 lately and almost constantly running, to where my last trip to Florida Caverns, that, as you know, was just a little over 48 hours. Well, I don't know if you know that. Now you do. And I actually ended up having to switch at the ends super early in the morning on that Monday before I drove home. I ended up having to switch my fridge over to the Bluetti because my Jackery was down to like 10% and I didn't want it to die while I was asleep. So that gives you an indication of how much of a difference the weather makes on power. So it's really hard when somebody says, how much power do I need? How long will this unit run this appliance? When it's something like a fridge, it is so dependent on the weather, because if the weather is cool, it's not having, that compressor doesn't have to kick on all the time. It's able to kind of stay off for a little while in between and still keep that temperature regulated. But when it is over 100 degrees in the vehicle and you're trying to keep it at 39 or lower, it kind of has to work pretty darn hard. So I would love to have some solar panels as supplemental power that I can use to charge back up when I am not at a place with hookups. Right now I do have hookups, which is awesome, because if I do need to top off, I can. But I do a lot more boondocking now than I used to, and my plan is to continue to do that and do it even more than I have been. So I really need to be able to have sustainable power, even when the temps are a little bit warmer. I probably am not going to do a ton of boondocking in triple degree or triple digit temperatures going forward. I kind of learned my lesson this last time. With as fast as the power gets depleted and with as hot as it is, it's just so energy sapping. So enough about that. You get the gist. I want solar. I'm really hoping for at least a 200 watt panel for now. I'm thinking, I don't know, I've been doing a lot of comparison shopping and research right now. I think a 200 watt panel is my best option. My little Jackery charges up no problem when I'm driving. And for the most part, when I'm out, like for my fall trip coming up in the mountains, I'm going to be doing a lot of driving in between, going from destination to destination. When I'm doing my scenic drives. So I will be able to charge back up no problem then. And like I said, the temperatures are going to be much better. But I think a 200 watt panel would really help me here for my power needs, as far as being able to top off both either my Jackery or my Bluetti to get back to a level that will keep me going. So that's my plan there. I'm currently hoping to save up for a 200 watt panel. If Bluetti or Jackery want to reach out to me with, a panel they want me to try out and review for the channel, hey girl, hey, looking at you. But aside from that, the only other thing that I maybe possibly have on the horizon as far as like a potential major upgrade would be eventually getting a cargo box. Back and forth so many times on what type of cargo box would be best for me. I've pretty much ruled out a soft carrier. I just feel security-wise and wind-resistant-wise, longevity, potential weather resistance, I just don't think a soft carrier is the right fit for me. I do want a hardtop carrier. That being said, I think I have ruled out a rooftop box. I like being able to use the drive-through car washes too much. I really enjoy being able to fit in my garage, especially in these temps. So I don't want to give that up, and I don't want to have to take the box on and off in order to be able to get in the garage. So that pretty much leaves me for hardtop carrier boxes with the option of a rear hatch cargo carrier. Can you tell I'm an expert in this? Yeah. But you know what I mean. I think I want a rear cargo carrier box, and I want the kind that come on the swing away hitch. So I think that would be the ideal fit for me, because I would be able to just swing it away as soon as I got to camp and still access the hatch whenever I wanted without having to take the box off. And I could even use it theoretically as kind of like a countertop for if I want to do any cooking, behind the van. But I think that's the best fit for me. There's a Yakima one. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Probably not. If not, I apologize. Please don't, rule out sponsoring me. I sound so greedy in this video. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to edit this out. I'm really not sponsorship hungry, I promise. I'm just, really anxious to get some outdoor storage for the road on these longer trips. Everything fits in both of my setups. I'm able to do everything that I need to do. I'm able to bring everything that I need to bring. I have plenty of space. So it's not like I'm cramped. It's not like I'm over-cluttered, anything like that. But I don't love having to take down my clam tent after breaking down camp and then put it back in essentially the living space that I'm sleeping in. I mean, if I'm bringing in a spider or a scorpion or something like that with the tent that I don't see and that I don't successfully shake out before putting in the bag and then putting it in the car with me, and then it, gets out of a little crack and climbs up into my pillow. Can you tell I've thought about this? But you get what I'm saying. I don't love the fact that I have to essentially bring my outdoor stuff indoor from campsite to campsite. And then if I don't end up using it for whatever reason, if the weather's bad and I don't want to take out my tent or my table, then I'm kind of stuck with having it in my living space while I'm in the van. So ideally, I would love to have an outdoor storage, like a cargo box. And I think that swing away would be perfect, because all I want to put in it is my tent, table, chair, rug, dirty laundry potentially, and that's really pretty much it. I mean, nothing really substantially more than that. I just want to be able to keep that stuff out. Oh, and my shade cloth, my tarp. But I mean, aside from that, that's really all I want. I want to be able to have my outdoor stuff outside. If I get super smelly on a hike, I want to be able to stuff my laundry outside for storage in a, safe, locked up, hard-sided, sealed up, weather-tight space that's not right next to, where I'm laying my head to sleep at night. So aside from those two things, that pretty much wraps up anything that I would really want to do as far as upgrades or changes. So let's go on to the very last topic. As far as channel and life updates and plans, I do have a few changes that I plan on making, ideally before the end of this year, although we are already into August, and I had hoped to be further along in these goals by now, so we'll see. Aside from the fact that I do really still hope to launch my photography website before the end of the year, there are a couple of other things that I really would like to do to enhance this channel and kind of your experience with my channel, and that is to potentially start launching membership and or Patreon. And also I am debating a P.O. box so that you guys could send me mail. And then that way, I have been having a lot of companies reach out to me wanting to send me products to review for the channel. And I do want to be really selective about what I accept as far as reviewing and recommending. I don't love giving out my personal address to a ton of people and companies. So I do think it would be good to have a P.O. box for that reason alone. But I think it would be really fun to be able to accept mail if you guys wanted to send me anything. Anything nice, any nice mail, nothing mean, no hate mail, please. So let me know what you think about that, and if that would be something that you would, want to even participate in, or if that's kind of like, why would I want to send you anything? No thanks. But that's kind of one of the things that I've been thinking about. Aside from a P.O. box, I've also been debating putting my Amazon wish list, publishing that. I'm not exactly sure how to do that yet, but I do know that I can because I know other people have. But I hesitate doing something like that because I don't want to feel like I'm asking for you guys to buy stuff off of it, or to give the perception that I expect anything off of it from you guys, as far as like wishing for stuff on my wish list from you. I don't want it to come across like that at all. So I also know that with my budget the way it is, I'm not able to obviously get everything that I see that I think would be practical, helpful, useful, etc. for this lifestyle. And I do see a lot of stuff and find a lot of really cool stuff in my research. And what I currently do is put it in my wish list, or rather I put it in my cart and then save it for later so that I have a record of it. And then if it goes on an amazing deal, or if and when the budget allows for it and it becomes a higher priority, I have it saved for those times that I can gradually add on as, fit. So I thought in the meantime, just because I might not be able to get some of this stuff doesn't mean that you guys might not benefit from knowing about it, because some of it's stuff that I never thought about or never knew existed until I saw it on there and saved it. So that's another thing I've been thinking about doing. If that is something that you guys think you might be into, let me know too. Because like I said, I don't want it to be like, oh, she's putting out a membership and a Patreon and a P.O. box and a wish list. She's just, getting greedy and wants all this stuff. I'm just trying to think of resources that I think might benefit or enhance your experience, as well as help my channel, continue to sustain itself and grow. Currently, when you guys are clicking my links, which I'm so appreciative of, I'm using that money to invest right back into more Amazon products to try out, review, and recommend to you guys if I think they're recommendation worthy. So I plan on continuing to do that. Just like right now, I'm not making a ton of money, nothing that I can live off of, or nothing that's life-changing off of my channel and off of views, but it's getting to a point where it's starting to be, enough to fund my campsites, my gas, my future trips and planning. So that is such a huge help, and I'm so appreciative of you guys for watching, for putting up with the ads, for clicking my links, and, boosting me in the algorithm with your likes and your comments. It really means a ton to me. It's really starting to make a difference in kind of what I'm able to do going forward. And there's so many things that I want to be able to do in the future for this channel. So many places I want to go. I want to start branching out further west, north, going for longer trips. But, with my gas and my PTO and all of that being so limited, I can only do so much right now. So your support, I just want you to know that you're really making a difference, and that I'm hoping that it's going to benefit you all as well with awesome content in the future. Okay, I think I'm done rambling. One last thing before I wrap this up that I did want to mention. I have been kind of redoing my budget to see ways that I can save money, things that I can eliminate, subscriptions that I haven't been using, if there's certain bills that I can negotiate. I just switched my insurance, my auto insurance, to save some money because Florida insurance is crazy right now. So I've been kind of going through that. If that's something that you guys would also be into, I know it's not really camping related necessarily, Hold please. The downsides of not boondocking. Anyways, like I was saying, if that is something that you would be into, if you kind of want to see where I'm doing with like budget, kind of throw in my YouTube analytics, what I've made as an Amazon associate so far this year, those kind of things, I can also address that. I just haven't really gone into that since it's kind of not in keeping with the kind of content that I do on this channel. But if you would like that every so often, I am totally open for that as well. All right, that's it, folks. I am done rambling. I'm done updating you. I'm sure there's things I've missed, but again, it's good to keep a little mystery going, right? I don't want to give you everything. With that said, I think the sun has dipped low enough that I'm going to get out and enjoy my campsite and this beautiful park. And I will see you very soon on the next adventure, hopefully. If you're not already subscribed, maybe consider that before you go. All right. Bye, friends.